Please give me a warm IIE welcome for Mr. Guy Primus.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to take a few pictures first because this is really cool. I'll post these to Facebook. Well, I'll send them to my mother first and then post them to Facebook. And it actually reminded me of another question I was asked back in 2000 when I went to work at Bad Boy. I was in my office at Bad Boy, and I guess I had done an announcement in the Alumni magazine. And the phone rang, and I picked up the phone, and I hear this southern voice. And I'm not going to imitate the voice for I don't want to embarrass myself, first thing, and out of respect for the person who was calling me, but it was Don Ratliff, who was one of my mentors, and founded Caps Logistics, the first company I went to out of school, wrote my recommendation for my master's program and for my business school. But he picked up the phone and he said, "What are you doing working in entertainment? You're a supply chain guy." And so I had to explain that to him. It's like, what, I really love analysis and really passionate about industrial engineering and the principles, but I really, I want to follow my passion. I just graduated from business school, and one of the professors said, follow your passion and the money will come. Well, I'm really passionate about technology and really passionate about entertainment. And analysis. And so what I did was I started a market research company that was incubated by a publishing company then acquired by Bad Boy. And so that was the answer I gave back in 2000. So if you ask me today what I do in entertainment, but I really just wanted to kind of talk about how I go about my daily job at Overbrook and what I do. And I also want to apologize because looking at the conference proceedings and the titles of those papers, there were 3 of them I could relate to and understand. So I really don't optimize. I took a little creative liberty here, but what I do is I improve systems and processes greatly. Right? So, but that wouldn't fit on the poster, so I took some artistic liberty and changed it to I optimize. So today what I'm going to talk about really have 3 objectives. One is to provide a little bit of insight into entertainment. I think a lot of people have a really romantic notion about what entertainment is. I'm here to dispel those notions. Show some industrial engineering philosophies at work. So at a very, 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 very high level. Right, so just kind of process optimization. I've been in supply chain, so I'm not going to pretend to suggest again that I optimize, but hopefully you guys can at least see the semblances of some industrial engineering philosophies. And then just deliver a presentation that's a bit atypical for this type of conference. So that, and this is a universal term. It's called development hell, and so I'm going to walk you through the process as it exists for most film production companies. The first is the inception of the idea. This is just, again, it's your source material. Again, Men in Black, for instance, was based on a comic book. Most people don't realize that, but Men in Black was based on a comic book. There are any number of movies that are based on, famous books. We have 2 ourselves. One is Flowers for Algernon. So we're going to be producing that. And then we also are going to be producing Annie, which is based on a comic strip and a stage play. And then actually you go from the story meeting. So this studio decides that they want to make this movie and they're going to hire a writer, and that's called the story meeting. And then you hear pitches from about, depending on, you might sit down with a bunch of writers, and we're going to go out to 6 writers or so. We're going to hear the pitches. They come in and they pitch you on the project, and so there's a huge amount of communication. A lot of people are really good on the paper, but they can't pitch, and so a lot of times they're discounted. But so you have to kind of really work on your presentation skills, for instance. But even if you're not a good presenter and you have a really fantastic idea, the studio may buy your pitch. And it's really, the tour logistics are really based on the White House, right? So the White House is really good at getting the president from point A to point B, meeting, shaking hands, making friends, kissing babies, and the whole 9 yards. And in particular, the White House is really great at it, but if you talk to anybody who has been around presidential politics, Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan were the masters, right? So Bill Clinton, and I've never met Bill Clinton, I've been in a conference room like this with him, but apparently if Bill Clinton walks into the room and shakes your hand and starts talking to you, he knows things that you wouldn't expect him to know about you. He would, he might read something on your shirt, and he would tell you some really, he's from Arkansas, obviously, but yeah, we know. but he would tell you, some detail about your school, or, Jane Hammond, she's a fantastic, leader of industrial and systems engineering. I can't believe what she's been able to do with that program. That sort of thing. And we aspire to that level of connection, right? And so people, places, and events really drive the tours that we have. And again, being a supply chain guy, I call it tour logistics.